Your nervous system will always choose a familiar hell rather than an unfamiliar heaven. So, learning about your nervous system, learning how to regulate your nervous system is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself.
Gloria Steinem once said, "We will never solve the feminization of power until we solve the masculinity of wealth." Barbara Provost and Maggie Nielsen are the team at Purse Strings that will help you navigate the ins and outs of financial independence so that you can be financially fearless. This is Women in Money, the shit we don't talk about.
Alrighty, today we have Lisa Miller on the show. We are excited to have you here. I know you just said you're from sunny California, so you're starting off in a warmer spot. But before we dive in today, can you start by just kind of introducing yourself to the audience, who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you so much for having me. Love being here. My name is Lisa Miller. I am a relationship divorce coach. So I help people really decide whether they want to stay or go in their marriage and then help them throughout the entire process, regardless if they stay or go, because there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. There's a lot of clarity. I have my proven clarity framework that I use with all of my clients to get them really, like, the goal is to be happy. If you're happy, I'm happy, everyone's happy, whether you stay or go. So that's what I do.
I just keep thinking of the song. Should I stay or should I go
I think
now?
of it daily.
I bet. I mean, I'd just be living in my head.
How did you get to this profession, Lisa?
I got divorced. That's how we started. Really, I was in the should I stay, should I go phase for, like way too long, and did all the therapy and was kind of like banging my head against the walls of like, I just like can't get unstuck. And I had 3 little kids. I was with my ex-husband for 20 years, married 14 of those years. I don't know how I'm going to ever get out of this. And then years of therapy, couples therapy, all the things. And like we ended up getting divorced. And I ended up working with a life coach who literally transformed my life. And I was like, I want to help people do that. So I left my career. I worked in the entertainment industry for 20 years, left that, became a certified life coach, and have been helping men and women. People think I just primarily work with women, and that is a huge part of my clientele, but I do help men too, because I go through the same things as women do.
And so what do you think was such the difference about going to therapy and then going to a life coach and having that be kind of the change? Because so often we're just like, oh, issue therapy. And so where would like a coach, be different, or how is that different for you?
So I think actually, like, when you're trying to decide if you want to stay or go, like, life coaching, finding a relationship coach, a marriage coach, divorce coach, whatever you relate with, is a huge difference. Therapy, really, the modality, it's a beautiful modality. I did it for years. My brother's a therapist. You're focusing on your past to heal you today. It's called talk therapy for a reason. You do a lot of talking, right? Most of my clients come to me after they're done talking. They're like, I need some tools. Coaching is more tool oriented. It's more meeting you where you are and taking you where you want to go. So it's a lot more goal oriented. So when you're in a place of like, I don't know what to do, you need tools. You need like, okay, give me some concrete ABC, like, how do I get to this place that I'm trying to go? Everyone who comes into my world is like, I'm done being stuck, right? Talking isn't going to get you there.
That's fair. So when you looked back, what was the moment where you realized that you were done spinning your wheels and you needed relationship clarity that actually worked?
So I have 3 boys. We got separated before we got divorced. My kids were 9, 8, and 5. And I clearly like remember looking at my youngest. He was like, Mommy, like, I don't know if you guys have boys. My son was like, I want to play trash trucks with you. And like, all my kids were very trash trucks. Like I had like a pretend trash truck and like, whatever. Everything in me wanted to play with him, but like I had no energy. I was like so depleted. I was like, I need something different. I was like on a hamster wheel, and like I was like get me off this ride. I don't want to be on this ride anymore. And so I started like doing research, and I started following different kinds of coaching, and I reached out to one I really resonated with, and like that's where the clarity started.
Wow. It's interesting because does love have to do with it? Because sometimes people leave because they're not in love anymore.
Oh, sure. I mean, what's love got to do with it? Now I have that song in my mind.
I know, but it's like, shall I stay? Shall I go? I mean, some people are like, I gotta go, but maybe they're still in love with them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I tell all my clients if there's just like an ember of love, just an ember, you can like get it to a full-fledged flame, right? A lot of people don't know if they're still in love or if they just love the person because it's who they know, it's their best friend, it's the father of their children. So that's part of the work we do is to find out like, am I still in love with this person or am I just staying because of my kids?
Right.
I mean, love has to do with it, but I would say it's just one part of it, right? It's also you need really good communication, you need connection, you need safety. Like it's just not about love. I mean, if it was just about love, like, we'd just stay with our best friends forever.
That's true. So when women come to you and they say, I love him, but something doesn't feel right, what's the first real truth bomb that you give them?
Are you in love with him? Or do you just love him? Do you still want to have sex with him? Do you still desire him? Or does he walk by you and you're like, please don't touch me?
You can see how that would not be successful.
That would be a sign.
Let's take a quick pause to hear from this week's episode sponsor.
Divorce can shake your confidence, not just emotionally, but financially. And in those moments, you deserve guidance that brings clarity instead of fear. Hi, I'm Margarita Chang, certified financial planner, retirement income certified professional, certified divorce financial analyst, and CEO of Blue Ocean Global Wealth. I help women going through divorce gain clarity, confidence, and control over their personal finances so they can make decisions that truly support their future. At Blue Ocean Global Wealth, we focus on financial planning first because accessing competent ethical advice should not depend on the size of your investment portfolio. Every woman deserves to feel financially confident, empowered, and resilient, especially during a life transition as significant as divorce. Visit blueoceanglobalwealth.com to learn more about how financial planning can help you navigate divorce with greater clarity and peace of mind.
Now back to our show.
But people are still confused even in that moment because you're like, I want to desire my husband. I want to desire my wife, but I don't. Can I get it back?
Do you know why that happens? Why the desire goes away?
Oh God, years of resentment, feeling alone, years of trying to be heard, seen, and it falls on deaf ears. Just years of like getting into a groove of like, I mean, it usually happens after kids, right? So you're like in this place of, you're in a pattern. The pattern needs to be interrupted, broken, changed. And it takes work. It takes like, because usually what happens is like people come to like a standstill. Well, I've been asking for this for years and he hasn't changed. And the other person's like, but I have changed. I've made changes. The changes aren't what I'm asking for. And they're just like fighting, right? Both people have to meet each other in the middle. And both people have to want it, right? Both people have to want to make the relationship, the marriage work beyond just for the kids.
And so it's Valentine's season and dating can kind of feel weird right now between politics, values, and the way the world is going. Women are like, I'm not wasting my time. You know what I mean? And so what are 3 questions women should ask early on, like the first couple of dates, to vet someone with that value and that mindset?
3 questions to ask. So I was a single woman for 9 years. I mean, I dated a lot. I had a lot of interesting relationships and all the things. I was a professional dater. I'm now engaged. So I'm like, we're done doing that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I think in the beginning, in the first 3 dates, what you really want to get to know is if you are aligned. So like, what are your values? Like if you're looking for, and I hear this probably daily, I'm looking for depth. I'm looking for deeper than surface conversations. What does that mean? Like what makes you happy? What are you looking for long term? What excites you? And make sure like you guys are on the same page with those things. Otherwise, you're going to end up probably very disappointed.
Yeah, tough because I'm on the dating world. And a lot of people out there are like, I'm an open book. Ask me anything, and then you'll ask them stuff and it's very like, I want, just very like vague things. Like, I want to be happy. I want to be with someone I love. Like, I want a family. It's like, so do the rest of us, like what makes it different?
Yeah, like go deeper with that. Like, what does happiness look like to you? Because I promise you, like if you answered that and I answer that, it's going to be very different answers, right? But like, can we meet in the middle? Like, is your version of happy, does that excite me? I'm like, oh, like that's a good answer, right? Or you're like, I mean, I went out with a guy and he was like telling me like his hobbies, and I was like, that's my nightmare. I was like, no, like this isn't gonna work, right? So you can vet people pretty early on if you ask the right questions for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I remember, actually, I'm married now, but when I was dating, this guy said, I see nothing better than just hooking my car up to what do you call that?
Whatever it is, you don't want it.
Mobile, whatever. And, going out into the woods and just spending days there. And I'm like, gotta
No.
go.
Yeah, no, no.
I'm like, Four Season? Yes. Woods? No.
Yeah. And here's the truth. Like, there's no right or wrong, but like, you got to make sure you're not just going after them because they're hot. Like, that's not going to last either.
No. Yeah, that's funny, Maggie. Hooking up to anything, yeah, I'd be out of there.
I heard car and I was like, she's out. There's no car in her world. Like those people who do like the car shows or like all pull out their cars that are like the same kind and are all in a parking lot. Like they do that kind of local to my house. And I'm like, that would never be my Saturday afternoon. Never would it ever, And there's some things where you're like, I'd be open to learning, exploring. I never have, but it's not a no. And then there's other things where just, nah.
Yeah. And you have to know your limits.
Right. And so for couples who come and they want to make it work or they want to, fall in love again, what are some steps to kind of help make that happen? How do you kind of coach them through this?
So there's a few things. Yeah. Like one, it can't be one-sided. So both people have to want to be in this marriage still. So my recommendation is always that each of them have their own coach or therapist, whatever they prefer. And then they have one together. So they're working on themselves and then they're working on the actual relationship, the union, right? So that's step one. And then two, they have to keep doing bits of connection, right? So sort of small, like, I mean, what's crazy is a lot of people come to me and they haven't had sex with their partner for years. And you're like, okay, so you're not going to just jump into bed with them, but like start with like holding hands, looking in each other's eyes, like maybe like sending like a sweet text throughout the day. Like all those things usually aren't happening and they seem so like fundamental and like elementary, but again, like there's a reason why they're where they are. So start small like that. Those small bits of connection will start to build trust between the two of them. And then it's like, okay, go on dates. Maybe don't actually drink, right? Like just like be sober during the date. See if you enjoy each other's company. No talking about work, no talking about kids. Like just start, like, is there a friendship even there still, right? And then you can slowly like work your way up to more intimacy, more fun.
So how long do you work with a client that you typically know they're going to go down one road together or they're not?
Well, I never make that decision for them. That's always up to them. But my programs are all 4 or 7 months to start. And then once they kind of complete that, then we decide together, I want to keep going. I'll be honest, within those 4 or 7 months, 90% of all of them get like the clarity. That doesn't mean they act on it. That's a whole different story, right? So it starts like that.
And so a lot of us settle kind of for comfort or avoidance. So how do you help women get curious about their nervous system kind of instead of just shutting down when it gets uncomfortable? Because that's kind of the easier route.
So your nervous system will always choose a familiar hell rather than an unfamiliar heaven. So learning about your nervous system, learning how to regulate your nervous system is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself. That's a huge part of my program of just like, okay, like let's tune in, trusting your intuition, trusting your heart, what it's saying, how it's leading you. That's also really important. Knowing it's okay to say no, right? As women, we often have the good girl mentality. We can't say no. We might get in trouble. So we get very like stuck in like, well, this seems good enough, right? Like on paper, he's he makes good money. He's a good provider. He seems like he'd be a good partner, a good dad. Like, so like, oh, I should stay. But if your intuition's screaming at you, like as women, like we need to learn to listen to that, even as men, right? Again, taking off the judgment, taking off the should. I always say there's no shoulding in my practice. We don't should, right? Like there is no right or wrong. There's just what's going to make you happy. If you truly like focus on that, you're not going to lead yourself astray. Like your heart's your North Star, right? So like learning how to trust that, which a lot of us have shut down, is like, that's magical.
It's interesting that you say a lot of us have shut that down. I think there's also pressure from outside forces that are kind of like, he's a good guy, he makes good money, and what's wrong? I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, absolutely. A lot of my clients are staying with a good guy because they're a good dad. Look, like they're showing up for you. You have a good life. Like, why would you want anything else? And like inside, you're slowly dying. It's like, how do you trust that like what you're feeling is enough, right? And the truth is, it's enough because you're not in love anymore. That's a good enough reason. We don't need them to beat us. We don't need them to have an addiction. We don't need them to cheat on us. If the marriage has expired, it's expired. And like we have to give ourselves grace and love and compassion to just be like, I'm not happy in this. I know I deserve to be happy. And by the way, so does your partner.
Yeah, it is kind of, well, some people have it worse, so it's not that bad. And it's like, well, it doesn't have to be the absolute worst to be qualified,
Absolutely. Yeah. It has to be true for you, right? So it's getting in touch with what is your truth and being okay with that, being like, okay, like, and it's a process and it takes time. And it's like, I always say baby steps to the bigger goal of like really knowing which way to go. And like, I've saved many marriages in my time. I am not pro-divorce by any means. Like that was the right decision for me and my family. That's not always the right decision. Again, there's like an ember of love, like by all means, like see that out, right? I'm also a big believer you should like cross all your T's, dot all your I's. Like you want to make sure you have like turned over every stone before you walk out that door. You don't want to go off of everyone else's judgments.
Right. And so for those who are like, don't know much about getting more in tune with their nervous system and listening into it, what are like a couple or a small practice that they could do to start tuning into their nervous system? Just some easy ones that listeners can start implementing.
So like nervous system regulation, like box breathing is probably the easiest, most common one, right? So it's like hold at the top for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. So you're like making a box, right? That will bring you back into your body. But the part of your intuition is like, where are you feeling it? We all feel things in different places. If you're into yoga, it's like your chakras, right? So it's like your heart, your tummy, your throat. Those are like probably the 3 most common. So like if you're triggered, if you're like being dysregulated in some way, tune into the energy in your body. There is an epicenter. Like I feel almost everything, and like, depending on what it is, it would either be like I'll get like knots in my tummy or my chest will get really tight, right? I mean, I've been doing this a really long time. So like I'm super in tune with my body. Like I feel it immediately and I'm like, okay. And like, depending on what I'm doing, like either I'll do some box breathing. Energy needs to move at all times. You don't want to have stuck energy. So anything like if you can go on a run, go on a run. If you can go on a walk, go on a walk. If you're stuck in the snow and you can't leave your house, throw a dance party, right? You can even go on a drive, put music on really loud and like belt it out. That will like pour it out of you. Another beautiful tool is journaling. Like getting your thoughts out on paper is an amazing way to move energy. Get into nature, right? Put your feet in the sand and the dirt and the grass. Notice your senses. Those are all ways to regulate yourself.
Interesting. Any advice for women who are navigating the dating world so that they don't get into these relationships that may not serve them?
Trust your gut, right? Like really like lean in. And here's the thing. I would say the first 6 months, anyone's going to wear a mask. You are, I am, we all are. We're human, right? So we're going to show our best self. Go slow. Go slow. Like, don't like, and I'm not saying like, don't go have fun, but like, just like know that like you're seeing the very best version of them right now. Some people can get to a year wearing a mask, right? Your best protection is to go slow. Don't lose all your friends. Don't stop doing all your hobbies. Like still be you and still date them and like maybe like date a couple other people like while you're dating them until like, you guys get to a place of, okay, it's just you and I, but then still go slow. Like I would say the whole first year, just realize like you're still just getting to know that person. That's your best protection.
Yeah, it really is I think about myself. Yeah, of course you're going to put your best foot forward and have all of that. You can't blame anyone there. Of course you want to show all your good sides. And so it is kind of like, all right, what's underneath that when you don't want to throw away everything else that you've had going on just for a fun surprise later.
I'd also say like, truly like ask the deeper questions. Like if you're looking for a certain kind of depth, be vulnerable. You have nothing. I mean, when I met my fiance, like I was at a point, I was healing from a off again, on again relationship that was very long. I think I was like 6 months out. I was not ready to be in a relationship. That was not what I was looking for. So I was kind of at a place where I'm like, I'm going to ask whatever I want to ask. I'm going to say whatever I want to say, like not in a mean way. Like I'm a very kind person, but just like, I'm not going to hold back because I'm scared maybe he won't like me. I didn't care. Right. And so he got the most authentic version of me. And I got to ask questions and hear answers that like, I was like, oh, like it was very intriguing. Right. And I was like, oh, I like that. And if it didn't work out, I wasn't scared because I was like, you like me or you don't like me. It's like, I'm okay either way.
We do have one question that we ask everybody who comes to our podcast, and it is, Lisa, what does financial freedom mean to you?
Peace. I have 3 kids. It's being able to send them on trips, go on trips with them, have experiences, wake up in the morning, not be worried about having to pay my bills, being like just knowing it's all kind of taken care of. I mean, as a single mom with 3, there was definitely some hardship on that journey. There were definitely years that I was in debt. Like, let's just be honest, right? I know that feeling. And then I know the feeling of being on the other side. And it's really just like waking up and being like, everything's taken care of. And I get to like decide not from a place of scarcity, but a place of like, this is what I truly want. And like, live the life you're truly desiring.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So when's the big day for the wedding?
We don't have one yet, but it won't be until 2027.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not a great planner, so we'll start planning. But I have a kid graduating high school, going off to college. I have another kid who's in college right now. I have another kid who's graduating junior high, going off to high school this year. This year was like a big year. I was like, I can't do it this year. So we'll do it next year.
A lot of things going on. Well, we appreciate you coming on and sharing your expertise and really how you help women and men kind of go through this transition and decide which way they want to go. So yeah, we appreciate you coming on. All, of course, your links will be in the show notes so people can connect with you. And until next time, be financially fearless. You've been listening to Women in Money, the shit we don't talk about. Now it's time to take what you've learned and make bold moves towards financial independence. Stay in the know by joining our newsletter for exclusive tools, resources, and updates that keep you financially fearless. Head to pursestrings.co and sign up today. Need a financial professional who gets it? Turn to PurseStrings' curated directory, your go-to resource for financial experts who know how to put you first. Love this episode? Leave us a review and help us empower even more women to own their financial power. Until next time, be financially fearless.